Surprise, motherfucker.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Easy!
Woo!
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Welcome to the Godfathers of Podcasting, broadcasting live on the Shuli Network every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Now, in case y'all didn't know, they've been podcasting since before podcasting was even called podcasting. Archives of this show are available on every major podcast provider, and you can find video archives, merch, and more on their website, godfathersofpodcasting.com. Now, here are your hosts, two guys who have been broadcasting online since 1996. The Godfathers of Podcasting themselves, Donnie Da Silva and Chris Tidwell.
What up, though? I'm Donnie, and that is the Nikola Jokic to my Jamal Murray, Chris Tidwell. Or as Ray DeVito calls him, Tip.
I mean, hey, ask, you might get more. Hello to everybody in the chat. Hello, Thursday night. Hello, Donnie. I'm just going to say very quickly. Hello, Topo Gigio. Hello, Stacy. Hello, America. Hello, Gina. This is going to be a fun night. We have got some crazy stuff lined up. And just so everybody knows right now, I do not profess to be the smartest of subjects on what we're going to be talking about tonight. So this should be fun. You will probably see me doing a lot of
Tid's going to get fucked up.
A lot of this instead. So let's have fun, ladies and gentlemen.
But let's just say this week's guest, and we'll get to his introduction in just a second. This week's guest, professional athlete who played many years professionally. However, you can talk to this fucking guy about anything, and he's always entertaining. So even if you're not a sports fan, stick around. I want to mention to everybody real quick, especially if you're in the Greater Toronto area. Last week on the show, when we had our friend Spider Jones on, we promoted an event that's scheduled to happen this Saturday. It's a tribute to wrestling legend Sweet Daddy Siki. Unfortunately, that event has been canceled. Sweet Daddy Siki is taking a turn for the worse with his health. So he's not going to be able to attend, which means doesn't make a lot of sense to have a tribute to him. It remains to be seen if this event will be rescheduled. If it is, we'll let you know, because I know a bunch of people hit me up online and said they wanted to come out and check it out. And also very quickly, thanks and hello to those of you that I met this past weekend at Niagara Falls Comic Con. It was very cool to meet some of you, and it was great to connect with a bunch of the celebrity guests that were there in attendance, and some of them were lining up to be on this show in the very near future.
Absolutely. Always going to be a lot of fun. Comic-Con, those guys really, really do a great thing. And coming up from those same guys is going to be Nightmare in the Falls, which is strictly horror-driven.
Yeah, too scary for me.
Not to be confused with Hoor-driven, which I would also go to.
When's HoorCon?
Every day in my house, son.
Does your wife know?
No, I was talking about me.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you.
We're going to do some stuff with them as well for that, hopefully in the future. So look out for all of that.
So we got a bunch of shit we want to talk about this week. We got some funny videos we want to share. We got people in the chat. Feel free to send us your questions, your comments, your best roasts, whatever you want, man. Throw it up there. We'll get it up on the screen if we like what you say. And we're just gonna have some fun.
Stephen C.
Right now, though, without further ado.
Because I was going to say, Stephen C. wants to know, is it Brett Favre?
As opposed to Favre?
Yeah. Stacey Allen, Tom Brady? Boy, we got some good guesses in here.
Oh, our guest. That's what they're asking. I see. Okay, well, let's do the big hello.
Let's find out.
This week's guest was a 9-year NBA veteran who played for the Portland Trail Blazers, Dallas Mavericks, Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Toronto Raptors. During his career, he was known as a legit tough guy. If you beat him in a game of cards on the team plane, you better fucking pay up. And while that's all great, the reason he's been on this show so many times is not because he was a basketball player. It's because this dude has no filter and always speaks his mind, and we love him for it. Over his last few appearances, we learned a lot of important things about him, such as he usually is the last one to leave the strip club. He always has to take a shower after going shit. And not only does he love his weekly pedicures, but he will take his entire team of 5th grade boys that he coaches out for pedicures too. And in fact, in honor of him, I'm getting a pedicure right now from a small Vietnamese woman under the table. His son, Gary Trent Jr., is currently a star for the Toronto Raptors, although it's probably likely he's going to be exercising his option real soon to explore free agency. And he's earned that fucking right. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and let's meet this gent. He's bigger than Superman. Y'all are Clark Kent. Every time he joins us, it's a big event because we know his mind. He will vent. National record for FG% at Hamilton Township. That's where he went. He spends more on shoes than you on rent, but hates wearing shirts. Don't get bent. Now give it up for the Shack of the Mac. This is our boy, Gary Trent.
Hey, man, that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot of intro, yo.
You know what I like? You know what I like about this is that we met up before the show. You know, peel the curtain back just a little bit here. Met up before the show just to say, hey, make sure everything's ready and copacetic. And this motherfucker had a shirt on then. I mean, I almost feel like I should be obligated to take mine off too.
So let me tell you what happened. First off, when Donnie said something about it, I was like, you know what? I need to keep the tradition. But then I was like, me and Chris got on the same outfit. Let me change my outfit right quick. I ain't want to show up on the set. We wearing the same outfit.
You know what's funny? Speaking of that, Gary, a couple weeks ago on this show, we did a thing where I'm not a real cannabis dude, okay? I'm not like, it's just, you know, every now and then, whatever, but it's not really my game. My man Tidwell here, he's the king of cannabis. Dude's been high since before man knew what to do with marijuana. So he and one of our guests, as well as the audience, challenged me a couple weeks ago to do edibles on the air. And I did. And so we were on the air, and these guys spent
they kicked in
show just trying to make me trip out, right? So like all of a sudden everyone's taking their shirt off. Everyone's just like,
well, you know, it's a difference though in the edibles, the infused foods, and the actual flower, you know.
Yeah. What do you find the difference to be?
Whether or not he's going to wear a shirt.
Well, the edibles, like, right, you know, you gotta let them run their course on you. Whatever you do with those, you gotta let them run their course on you. And you know, I've seen people now we got the same outfit. I've seen like the edibles, you know, they have you floating forever. You know what I'm saying? The flower, even the top notch flower, gonna wear off here eventually, but them edibles that keep going. And a lot of times people take edibles for sleep and things of that nature, you know?
Bro, I was so fucking high. I'm in my home studio. I don't know how I got from my recording space to my bed that night. Like I'm texting Tid and I'm like, my legs don't work.
Bro, he left me the most
because your body's processing them. So your body it's got to go through your whole system where, you know, you can smoke and that'll wear off eventually because that's more like head high. But once it's in your bloodstream, bro, you're going to have to let it run its whole course because I've seen people eat too many milligrams, get sick, throw up because their body couldn't take it.
See, I wasn't going to.
How many milligrams can you take, Chris?
Oh, me?
One sitting.
I mean, I'm good with about 250.
250?
Right? Yeah, but I'm a daily, like I dose through the day all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
saying that one time if you sat down, you could just gobble 250.
Yeah.
How long ago you just gonna ride you out to the next day?
Yeah. Oh, easily. Yeah. I'll even wake up in the morning, still be like, you know, you got that
still a little floaty, giggly, still giggly and shit, wondering like, you know what I'm saying, what's going on?
Yeah, but I wasn't going to do that to my boy here, right? Like, so we just hooked him up with like 220 or 210 milligrams because here in the dispensaries, that's the highest that they'll go.
Yeah.
Nice chocolates and then a nice 10 milligram iced tea to wash it all down. 30 milligrams throughout the night. Like he was fine. He was a champ.
Baby first step joint. You gave him a little baby first step, a little intro, a little something. Right? You ain't want him to get too beside himself. If he couldn't already work the studio, anything over that 30, he might have been like working at a different station. Like, what am I doing here?
Bro,
Right?
by the end of the show, I didn't know how to work the buttons in front of me. Like legit.
That was your first time?
No, it's not my first time. It's my first time doing that much.
Oh, okay. So basically, you just been playing.
I've been playing.
Yeah, because here's what happens. It goes like this for the newcomers. They take it and then they like, this ain't enough. Give me some more. And then they overdo it. Or somebody is so cautious that they take it. And then they're like, well, I took some before, but I didn't feel anything because you didn't take enough. So it usually, unless you with somebody that know what they're doing, you fall under the doing too much or not enough crowd.
Right.
So you and I, in terms of like body size, we're almost the same size. So how much do you take if you're going to do edibles and want to feel nice?
Oh man, I was at this spot in Portland and some cats offered me this some type of drink. It should be this cannabis club. So, you just can come in there and everybody just bring all their own stuff and y'all just kick it and everybody just shares. I mean, man, it was such a beautiful place because they had PlayStations in their chess boards. You could play chess. You just really kicking back. And some guys created this little drink that I had been knowing in there. And I think the drink might've been like 1,000 milligrams.
What? What did that do to you?
Man, I really don't know. I was so numb. I really, you know what I'm saying? I just was numb. You know what I'm saying?
Were you with other people?
Yeah, I was with the guys that was there, some hippie cats. I'm talking about the long beards, some ZZ Top looking cats.
But I mean, some dudes that were going to take care of you, right? Some dudes that were going to take care of you, right?
No, I was good because they weren't influencing me because I seen what they had and I was like, yo, I ain't never had any liquid. Can I try some? Because everybody get to come with your own goods. You ain't allowed. They don't sell nothing there but water and chips and stuff. But everything you need, they got all the things for dabs. They had all the things for all kind of bongs, all kind of trays. So I seen them over there, and they was toasting it. And I was like, yo, man, let me toast. And then they say, no, I jumped in. You know what I'm saying? With the hippie crew, like some real hippie guys. I'm talking about like if you saw them walking down the street, they looking like Cheech and Chong nephew cats.
Oh, I've been to Portland.
Yeah.
Just got a text message on our hotline 437-375-2000 from a longtime listener. His name is Chris, and he's reminding me when you mentioned about the new guys who do some and then it doesn't kick in and then they keep doing them. He just sent me a text reminding me about in 2020 when Miami Heat player Dion Waiters ate a whole bag of gummies, a whole bag, and got fucked up on the plane.
Some of them might be like, if you eat the whole bag, depending, it could be about 600-700.
Yeah. And that was the end of his career.
And see, it also depends on what you're eating too, right? Like if you're eating a lot of the stuff they say, it's a high percentage, but it's a high percentage of a sativa like extract that isn't the same as taking a lower dosage of like a hybrid or especially like an indica or something like that. You try messing around with 1,000 milligrams of indica and you're going to be hanging out.
Going to sleep. Yeah. You really going to sleep though. You ain't really going to party. You're going to it's gonna kick in, you're gonna get slumped, you're gonna go through your giggle stage, and then somebody gonna look over and be talking to you, and you're gonna kind of be like that. You know what I'm saying? So, when you experimenting, like that was kind of risky on your behalf, because a lot of times when you experiment doing things like that, man, you need to be at home or in a controlled environment or somewhere safe that, ain't nothing gonna happen to you after that, or you never know, some girl might take advantage of you or something, Donnie,
No, we're safe from that. Don't worry. My man Tid here, Gary, he was a professional wrestler for 25 years. He retired last year, finally, because he's an old man now. And I know that during his time, not just for the guys on the independent circuit, but for the guys and the professionals at WWE and everything else, they're doing 200, 300 dates a year. Pain management becomes a thing, and guys were always hopped up on pills to the point where they're getting addicted, and guys are dropping dead with heart problems and everything else. These days, pro wrestlers, a lot of them have turned to marijuana in order to deal with the aches and pains of the constant, wear and tear on the body. Was marijuana a big thing for pain management when you were in the league?
To be honest, I really truly believe that people find their own purpose for the marijuana because, like, okay, I had 3 back surgeries, right?
Yeah.
And they always prescribed me with Percocets after my surgeries and whatnot. But I already knew how that pill addiction was going to work. So I never took mine. I just I took whatever they gave me while I was under anesthesia and things of that nature. But I didn't follow up on them pills for 90 days because they give you a 90-day supply at one time. So I never messed with the pills because I saw too many athletes and I had a lot of addiction in my family and I was just never a pill type of person, still not, But as far as pain management, people smoke, but it was still banned. It was still illegal. So you couldn't lean on it like that and you couldn't voice it like that. And then, a lot of times they were still doing 4 randoms a year. So when you were still getting random, so you couldn't lean on it like that. That's why you were seeing guys get in trouble. And the thing about the league was, by the time the NBA exposed you and said you violated the policy, you had already been in trouble 3 times. It was like the first time it's in-house, second time in-house, third time they got to bring it to the public because you're going to get suspended. So they got to let the people know. But by the time you got suspended, people think, oh, why are you getting in trouble? Well, bro, you already been busted 3 times.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what people don't know by the time they put you on TV, because the more they got to keep reprimanding guys for bad things, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, it's black eye on the sport. If every week somebody pops up dirty for weed, or everybody once a week pop up with a gun case or pop up with speeding or anything, it affects the brand. So, back in our era, when I was playing, that it wasn't as open and it wasn't recommended. So everybody stuck with big pharma and just put you on pills, put you on pills, put you on pills. Now, well, here's what I will say about the marijuana, though. 1,000%, it has a lot of benefits. 1,000%, it helps with sleep. It does help with some aches and pains. But at the end of the day, nobody talks about what it does to your lungs, because if you look at a house fire, when you see a house fire, most people that die in a house fire, it's not like they was trapped in a corner and the fire just burnt them up and then they died. Usually the house fire creates so much smoke of inhalation, you fall down, pass out from all the smoke, then get burned up. That's how most people die in a fire. Because at the end of the day, the marijuana is good. It does have its health benefits, but nobody talks about the tar on your lungs, how dark it makes your lungs, how it gives you shortness of breath and things of that nature. That's what they skip over in the marketing plan.
And back when you were still playing, like, edibles weren't what they are now.
No, they didn't even have edibles.
It was like
it was all underground.
Brownies. Yeah, right.
Everything was underground.
All you had was flour to smoke, right?
Well, you had to know people who was growers, right? So if you knew any growers, once they chop them down and they got all the fan leaves, because I have friends where we take the fan leaves and you take 12 sticks of butter and you just melt them. You don't boil it, butter evaporate, you just melt them and you let the fan leaves soak in them for about 3 or 4 hours, and now the butter gonna turn green. Then you pour it through the strainer and now you got like 3 cups of green butter, and now you make your brownies and all that, but nothing was measured, no milligrams. We just winging it and just doing what we do. And, depending on how much brownie you're going to eat, that was at your own risk, because everything was more underground. Everything was more at home. Everything was more personal. There was really no science to it besides, when it says use oil or water in the batter, well, don't use the oil or the water. Use the butter that you made.
Yeah, and you could have ended up with like a brownie that got like minimal or nothing, and then you could have ended up where everything was over on that other side of the bowl.
Yeah.
And it just like wrecked you. You know what I mean? Like, there was no science to it, right? So
I feel like we should pitch to the guys here at the Shuli Network a new podcast, Cannabis Cooking with Gary Trent. Like, let's
bro, we do it before and after, because I know that everybody in the chat here knows about it. There's a cook like Bob Levy. They've been showing during the pandemic. He did some cooking show stuff while he was at home, and they've been showing it on here. So I'm saying we do like a before and after, right? We like Gary gets ready with the cooking stuff to like cook the butter to make the stuff to get you high, and then when you got the munchies, you need that meal of like some steak or some pasta or whatever the fuck.
Everybody got to show up to the set an hour early, though, so by the time they can eat and get a chance to kick in while the show on. Because you don't want to kick once the show over, and then everybody in the car driving home and they kick in. They need to kick in while the show is live, she can still get the entertainment.
See, this is why I like you, Gary. We come up with a stupid idea and you're ready to roll with it. You're thinking ahead right now. All right. All right.
Gary.
Very quickly. Hold on, guys. I just got to say this because before we try to shift gears or anything, Chris Abel's in here with the super chat at $4.99.
Thank
Does
you,
Gary
Chris.
still have them? And does he want to dispose of them? Asking for a friend.
Do I have what? The edibles?
No. Them scripts that you were getting back in the day.
He knows the guy. He knows the guy.
Nah, them scripts are gone, man. They've been sold.
That's funny. Gary, you were talking about, when you were in the league, guys get in trouble, guys get suspended, whatever else. So you know what? I got to ask you, man, because about 2 weeks ago, NBA commish Adam Silver came out and he said, with respect to Ja Morant, we have already decided what his punishment will be, but we are waiting for the NBA finals to end so as not to steal any focus. The NBA finals are over. So I'm expecting any day now the news is going to come down. What do you think they're going to do to Ja?
Well, first off, he said that, but then everywhere he would go, somebody would make him talk about it.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He said we're going to wait until after the finals. We don't want to take away from it. And then in the next 3 interviews, everybody kept talking about it. So it was still becoming a topic of discussion.
Yeah.
I know this, man. They gave you the 8 games and they tapped you on the hand and let you know, hey, stop playing around.
Right.
I seen an interview where a girl asked Silver, the interview lady asked Silver, well, what did you say to him if you told him if it ever happens again? He was like, what? Like his body language was like, well, with the discussion we had, there was supposed to be no, if you do this again, we're going to do this. The discussion was, don't you ever let this happen again type of discussion.
Right.
And, it's sad that he's going through this because it cost him $40 million last year just from not making an all NBA team or any of that.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost him again this year between the games and the suspensions. So more than likely, he won't participate in enough games because you got to play 65 games. So I'm sure he's going to get more than a 15-game suspension. So that's going to disqualify him from potential MVP or potential All-NBA team.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably going, no matter his numbers, is going to probably cancel him from the All-Star game because lets the fans just throw him in there. But the sports writers, they're going to change their attitude. And the crazy thing about it is they're supposed to be evaluating your sport that you're in and your talent within your sport. But if you catch a case or you do this or you do that, that shuns how they feel about you personally. This is not supposed to be a personal vote. This is supposed to be from what you've accomplished. This is supposed to be from how hard you work, the dedication and your commitment to your sport. So don't take away. If you do 2-a-days all summer, come back, and I'm averaging 30 points, 10 assists, y'all guys want to hold me back because maybe they got a DUI or something to that effect. That has nothing to do with the work that I put into what I've accomplished and any of that. But people are making the vote a personal feeling thing. Mm-hmm. And that's taken away from it because if you're going to flat out vote on the accomplishments and the guy's work ethic and what they're doing on the court, you can't mix your emotions into that and say, well, he got in trouble. I don't like him. So I'm not like, people are not voting for people and feeling a personal way toward them. So since I don't really like your character and what you did, and I seen Chris Wilbon, when he was on TV saying, Ja Morant's shoes are not allowed in his house. So if he's a voter, because of what Ja did off the court, he's not voting for him, right, which is unfair.
Yeah.
True enough, the kid made some mistakes, but that's still, you're personalizing it. You're to vote based on what he's accomplished on the court, not don't vote for him because of what he did off the court, or don't vote for him because your kids look up to him and he did something wrong. Because every parent that got something negative to say, you done some shit, but your kids didn't see it and you weren't broadcasting. Because I'm sure when you left the bar with your wife on Friday, you had 3 or 4 drinks, 4 or 5 beers. You was a DUI, but since you didn't get in trouble, you're still the perfect parent to your children. So, sure, people need to be quick to watch what they say before they start just throwing stones, because anybody with children or anybody really above 25 ain't wearing a halo.
But ever since the Gilbert Arenas situation, the league has been pretty strict on gun rules and having guns in the team facility, on the team plane. That, like, having a weapon on the team plane is supposed to be, I think they said, an automatic 15 games or 50 games. It's supposed to be an automatic 50 games. So when they found out that he took his gun with him to Denver on the team plane and he only got 8 games, I was like, okay, they're really giving him a shot here.
Well, here's the thing, though. Y'all, they couldn't prove if he bought the gun on the plane, because if you got friends in every city, when you touch down, some of your friends already strapped. You know, I got friends who would, if I touched down in the city, it was like, yo, I need you to bring me something, man, so I can, you know what I'm saying, be safe out here. They'll come and drop it off to me, and then when I go to leave town, they'll come back and get it. So, you know, that might have been the situation with him, which I doubt.
Yeah.
But hey,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? The problem with Ja is you're having too many negative incidents, and they're all gun related. And the worst thing about it, worst thing about it is you didn't grow up like this. If you was a guy,
suburb kid,
if you grew up as a gangbanger, you grew up as somebody that's known to tote pistols.
Right.
You got a couple of strikes on your record because you done had some gunplay, or you done had a couple shootouts, or guys know your background. That's one thing. The reason why you having all these issues is because you're playing with guns. You know, you listen. First off, you done came to a strip club and threw 50,000 on the floor. That would have been my first issue with you. That was the first issue. And then you brandish a gun. So I understand how you come in here with 50,000 for entertainment, for lap dances and music and liquor. What a pistol got to do with anything? Mm-hmm. What you need that for? Like, not in that moment. You know what I'm saying? You want the whole world to know you got a gun? That's goofy. That's how you know he's still young and immature, because you ain't the last one. You didn't buy the last gun made, and you didn't buy the first gun made, and you ain't the only one with a gun. See, what happens when you start doing things like that, you start having real gangsters out here like, oh, buddy think he cool? Wait till we pull up. And now we're going to see if you really about that gunplay, because at the end of the day, you can pack a gun all you want. 9 times out of 10, you're still at a disadvantage because you're carrying a gun to react to something.
Right.
Well, when them guys roll up on you, they already done scoped you. They're already going to make their move, and they already got you under the beam. Once that barrel is pointed at you, the only reaction you need to do is follow instructions. Right. If he say, take that necklace off, take that watch off, you can't reach for no gun or reach in your underwear or reach in your hip once that barrel already pointed at you.
We live in this society now, Gary, where like people are checking in when they got to roll into town, right? And there was an incident here in Toronto where a DJ, I forget the name, some famous DJ
Drama.
There you go. You know, you heard the story, right? Like
part of it is because he be dissing Drake. So that's why they shouted him out, and the locals wanted to show him love, and they rolled up on him and took his chain.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. Like, if you are flexing like that, like you're living that life, somebody's gonna roll up on you somewhere and check you. Right?
Yeah, but DJ Drama ain't rolling like that. He ain't talking no guns. He had a problem. He talked bad on Drake.
But Ja Morant is.
Yes.
Right? If he's flexing like this, somebody's going to roll up on and check him one day, right?
And they want to see if you really about that.
And the fucking NBA can't have that.
No.
Because he ain't Iverson. He ain't Allen Iverson.
He ain't
not even that. My biggest problem is this. First off, it's not your lifestyle. So you out here being something you not. And where I'm from, we call that MC Gusto. That was you ever seen the movie CB4? You know what I'm saying? First off, what are you doing with all these guns? This was never your life. So to me, you playing with something that you don't have no business playing with. You that has nowhere in your mix. But here's the biggest problem for me. When you're a real gangster, like a mob boss, right? John Gotti came up through the ranks. Maybe he caught a few bodies. He didn't have to do some beat down, some money collections, and he might have stacked him a few bodies. But once you become a boss, I'm not saying John Gotti probably didn't carry no gun, but at the same time, all your goons around you now, those are your shooters. I've never seen a guy move up the ladder, move up the ranks, get 200 million and want to be a shooter.
Right.
No, when you become the boss, you start working two fingers. Hey, handle that, or give him the nod or whatnot. I've never seen a mob boss be his own shooter. Right. And as far as Ja's camp, he's the boss. He got the money. He making all the decisions. And anybody that still make a decision can't make a decision without his money. So with that being said, with you being the boss, you protect the golden goose. Right. So all the guys around him, if all 5, 6, 7 of his homies had guns, I can understand that. I can understand why, and I can understand that to a point. But Ja, you don't, even if you got a gun, nobody should know. If your homies got guns, nobody should know because you're drawing unwanted attention. And to me, if I was Ja with that type of money, my 4 or 5 closest homeboys, I don't want y'all as my security. Yeah. Because here's my thing. If us 3 roll to the club and we out to eat, right? I want both of y'all to be able to eat your food. I want y'all to enjoy the atmosphere. I want y'all to be able to mingle, talk to girls, guys, talk to people, and enjoy what we're doing. I don't need to bring you out and in one breath you talking to a girl, and then the next breath you're trying to be security. The next breath you taking a drink, having a laugh, and then 2 minutes later you back on security. And then me and you have a laugh, and then 2 minutes later you back on security. You can't do that. Either you're going to be all the way security or you're going to be all the way kicking it. Now, if Ja get up to go to the restroom, his team supposed to move with him. That way ain't nobody going to jam him up in the restroom, put their foot on the door, rob him like that. That's when your team move with you. But as far as, I don't want my team carrying guns, because think about it, right? Y'all say y'all 2 are my best friends or my closest cousin or my brother. You have time, part-time playing security with me. Something happened. Now you shoot somebody. Now you do 15 years. Man, I don't want you not here to enjoy what I'm doing. Yeah. I got $200 million and I don't have my best friend here, or I don't have my brother here because they was playing my security. Yeah. I want y'all to enjoy this life with me. I don't want you sitting behind bars, keep calling me all the time trying to say, what y'all up to? What y'all doing out there? And here's the worst part about it, right? So you got 2 incidents, right? So boom, Chris, you catch a case, you looking at a 10-piece. Donnie, you catch a case and you do a 5-piece. Well, once all my team is gone, I'm going to have to hire some damn security anyway because I ain't got no more team here.
Right.
So everything you're doing is a lose-lose because I'm going to lose my team and still have to hire real security. So why don't I just go ahead and hire some real security to begin with so me and my team can enjoy life? That's where I don't know what his dad is in his ear saying or whatnot, you know, but a lot of rumors said his dad was in the strip club when he pulled the gun. Yeah. Listen, man, if I was in the strip club, first off, my son come in there and drop 50,000. We're going to fight about that. We're going to have a problem that you came up here and drop 50,000 for some bitches you don't know and ain't going to do nothing to better your life. To me, Josh should have came in there and said, you, and you come with me, and then went and spent 10, 15,000 and partied it like that. You came in through 50 on the floor, and all these girls is doing in the media is talking about they were scared, you a danger, you should be out the NBA. These are girls you just bought cars for. These are girls you just bought BBLs for. These are girls you just put down payments on their homes, and they talking trash on you. So to me, dude moving all the way wrong. Pops moving all the way wrong because, like I said, if my son would have did that, y'all would have saw in the media me and my son got in a fight because – son, you have worked too hard and you have came too far and you have put your life on the line. People around you have sacrificed. We have sacrificed money at times for plane tickets. We have sacrificed trips, AAU trips, 7 days in national tournaments for you to get to the pinnacle of success and to get on some bullshit like this. Nah, we're going to have to fight.
But is that the difference between like you're still like your boy's a grown ass man. Like he knows how to make his decisions. He knows the consequences. You raised him right and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're still his pops. And so you're still guiding him till like, you know, the day one of y'all's is no longer around. Is that the difference between like being that figure and just being like, I got you to this point. Now you're famous. Now I'm going to ride your coattails. Cause that sounds like what it is a little bit with Ja's dad too. Right.
Well, first, I'm going to be my son's parent first. I'm always going to be your dad first.
Okay, right.
And then the next thing it's going to boil down to is I'm going to be your brother. And then third, I'm going to be your friend.
Right.
I'm going to be your friend last. But by the time I've given you some wisdom as your father, and then by the time I've passed you some wisdom as your older brother, by the time we get to the friendship stage, you have enough understanding that we can just be simple friends. I don't have to be your friend and follow you in the shenanigans to make you accept me, love me, or whatever. Because, man, you know, my grandmother has 7 children. She buried, my mom is the oldest of 7. My grandmother buried 4 of her children before she died. I told myself, if I ever fall out with any of my children, or any of my children ever go to jail, or any of my children die or whatever, I'm not going to lose sleep about it, because I'm going to take every step and educate you on all of that. And I'm going to make sure that if I fall out with my child, I fall out with you because I was trying to make you do the right thing. I was educating you on the right thing. I'm not getting ready to be your friend so I can go along with you. And then when you do some bullshit, I'm sitting at home, man, I could have, would, or I should have talked to myself. No, I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm talking to you in advance. I'm letting you know all of this beforehand. I don't know what type of life his dad led. So, you know, a lot of times if his dad woke up, went to work 9 to 5, never done nothing in the streets, or never had no street life or no street background, maybe he didn't know how to educate his son on that, or not educate his son on that. A lot of us don't know that. You know what I'm saying? But to me, I just know there's certain shit that me and my son would have had to fight by now.
Right. We're talking a lot about your son, Gary Trent Jr. And I always think back to the very first time I ever spoke to your son, when I interviewed you, and he was like a junior in high school. There he is, a good-looking young man.
Yeah, I still think you
both of
whooped
you in
his ass.
Blazers uniforms. The very first time I spoke to your son, I think he was a junior in high school. I had you on the show, and you were telling me, yeah, man, this kid, he's going to be the truth. He's one of the best players in the country. And he came on the phone, and I said, so Junior, can you whip your dad's ass? He's like, easy. When he was a junior in high school. And
that was about the time he started beating me in one-on-one too.
Yeah, and the way he said it so confidently, I was like, "Oh, this kid's got something." You know, like, he didn't hesitate. He's like, "Oh yeah, easy."
You know, he'd go in the newspaper and say, "Yeah, I was beating my dad when I was about 11 or 12." You know, but I'd say about his junior year of high school, when he got about 15 or 16, his jumper was too. You know, and I wasn't about to be trying to close out on no kid, no energetic kid. I'm not having no groin injury. I'm not trying to test none of my lateral. I'm like, all that lateral testing and slice, son, I'm done. So all I'm gonna do is play off of him and try to crowd his jumper, which, you know, at that point in time, his jumper was so good in high school. And then when he would beat me, you know what I would tell him? You better, because I'm training you every day to beat somebody. So I don't feel bad about you beating me. That's the whole purpose. I'm training you. I'm training you so that you feel like this. I'm training you so that your shot is like this. I'm training you to be unstoppable.
I wanna just get to, because we do some chat stuff here, and there's some people that have had some stuff to say. I just want to bring this up. D-Man69 very quickly. To all of you in the chat, thank you so much for everything. Oh man, this rules. I love GT. I was lucky to go to a ton of Wolves games, and GT was always solid.
Yeah, man.
Right?
And always in a fur coat.
Chris Abel.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Sound like he talking about when I played, but I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that support.
Chris Abel's $9.99.
This is now shirt versus skins. Love it, fellas. Jump balls.
Well, Donnie done lost out. Donnie done lost out.
Funny thing is he means jump balls, but I know that Chris was drinking earlier on Levy Land, so motherfucker got the N instead of the M, and that's cool, because we're going to make up for it tomorrow on his show. For those of you that want to tune in, because it's Friday night, and I'm about to get this motherfucker fucked up on the air. So let's go, Chris Abels.
And we got another one here from Bonelands. Trent was a bad dude on the court. Yes, he was. In fact, not only was he a bad dude on the court, a couple of years ago, Shaquille O'Neal made headlines when he was asked in an interview, if you were going to get into a fight in a back alley, who would you want on your side? And the first name he said, Gary Trent.
Well, you know, man, and you know, that kind of was funny to me, but I was thinking there was a point in time in the game where me and him almost got into a fight in the game. Now, I don't really think he was going to fight, but it was in the playoffs. And I think it was just some emotional tension, trying to, you know, be gladiators and whatnot. But, you know, man, your reputation going to travel in this league. Like I told my son, when you're on a team with somebody, whatever happens in that season, the news will travel, because at the end of the season, there's only 5 or 6 guys coming back. So the other 10 that was there that saw that fight or saw that incident, they're going to travel to the next team. So me, whenever I had a former teammate on one of them other teams, when something happened, once I say what I say, I'm going to tell my teammate, you better tell him. Like if I tell you, bro, after the game, I'm coming to see you. It's not an in the moment thing. And then once the game is over, I'm leaving it alone. I said what I said because obviously out here on the court, you didn't get my message or you thought that cheap shot was going to slide or whatever you did. So like I had teammate tell him, listen, you ain't got to be scared of him. And I ain't saying you scared, but I'm just saying, but he said he coming. I know him personally. He's coming. I done been on teams and watched him go after people. So, you know, that your reputation going to travel. So make sure when you issue a statement, you're going to have to stand on it. Because if you start saying, well, on Monday night, you tell a guy, well, I'm going to see you after the game. And by the time you do 10 games of threats and you don't do nothing, them guys going to be like, he just talking. No, my teammates will tell you, no, he coming, bro. He looking forward to that.
Here's my question, though. And can we pull that picture back up of a jacked ass Gary Trent on the field, on the court there? Can we pull this back up? Yeah. So this is what I'm getting at, because I talked about this and I need to know. Cameraman, zoom in, as the Iron Sheik would say. Gary, what the fuck is that?
So listen,
because I know your son, he went from zero to hero covered with tattoos as well, and so he's got to have been giving you ribs on this. Is this like an upside down road runner? Like what is going on here?
So listen, back when I was about 18, when I was at college, me and about probably 30 or 40 other athletes, some were football players, some were basketball player, we created our own little sports fraternity and we called ourselves Young Guns. And every time somebody would score a touchdown, or every time I would dunk, we would throw up the little gun like this, little gun. Okay. And that was your little sign to everybody that just like the way a guy put up a three when he hit a three, it was just like throwing up the guns. Uh-huh. And then everybody in the crowd that was a young gun would throw it back and they would go extra crazy. And that was our thing. So the tattoo says Young Guns. You just can't read it because the color has been faded and my guns ain't young no more. So now that my gun got bigger, it turned into a sentence. It was 2 words, but then when my arm went from 16 inches to 22 inches, now it looked like a sentence. It looks like an ad for like a chicken joint. I don't know what the fuck. It was something we created on campus. Okay. It's no gang or it's nothing like that. We just called ourselves Young Guns. We was all freshmen and sophomore, 17, 18, and we just was Young Guns,
How are you going to be a dude that goes for pedicures once a week, gets his beard trimmed up all the time, and you don't fix that blown out tattoo?
I just figured it's going to let it be what it is. You know what I'm saying? I never updated it and whatnot,
You scared?
Nah. I got a tattoo across my back that took like 20 hours.
Why? Wait, please don't tell me it's your name. Because that is the
no.
in the world. Motherfucker,
I got my name right here though.
All right. Yeah. All right. There you go, ladies. You see how I did that for you?
Listen, next time you're in Toronto, we'll get Tid to hook you up with his tattoo guy. We'll fix that shit.
Listen,
hold on a second.
My son got so many tattoo artists. I'm sure I could have coattailed in on one of them tattoo seconds. He done had tattoo artists come to the house. And I'm like, I'm watching them get a tattoo and I'm like, nah, I'm cool. He like, you don't want to get something? I'm like, nah, I don't want to get nothing.
Oh, Stacey Allen says Gary's delicious.
Oh, okay, Stacey. There you go.
Okay, all right. Listen, son.
See, here's the problem. Gary doesn't need a lot of prompting to start flexing.
Yeah, did you guys not hear the part where we said 10 minutes before the show started, he was wearing a shirt and he was like, no, I'm going on a show with 2 dudes. I'm about to bring some women from around someplace up into this motherfucker and just take my shirt off. This is what it is. This is his whistle. You guys go back, check out some of the other shows. This is this motherfucker's flex right here.
All right, so listen, I know that you're going to be limited in what you can say, right, as to what Junior is planning to do in the next little while. All logic suggests he's going to opt out of his player option because there's money out there for him, whether it's still in Toronto or elsewhere. But let me ask you this. What is most important to Gary moving forward in terms of his next home?
Here's what's been going on.
Okay.
So when I was in Toronto, and he done went down to Miami now, we get up at 4:30. We get up at 4:30, get something to eat, drive to the gym, get over to the gym about 5:45. From 6 to 7, from 6 to 7, he does his little body work, strengthening core, strength training and all that. And then you get on the court from 7 to 8:30. We leave the gym, go get something to eat, come back, take a nap, get up, come back to the gym. Then we go from 3 to 4. So what we've done is the first session is 90 minutes and the second session is 60. We've broken it down into 5 30-minute segments of all the things that you need to be working on. So we'll take 30 minutes this, 30 minutes this, 30 minutes this, and focus. That way you can work on your overall game. Because people be like, well, what do you feel like you need to work on the most? Well, there is no work on the most. You need to work on everything, especially at his age, at his stage of his career, being 24, still young. There's nothing that you cannot work on or nothing that you need to leave out. So that's how we've managed his workouts this season. My son's biggest thing is he loved Coach Nurse. He loved being in Toronto. He loved playing there. He got a little emotional up and down because every time there's an adjustment within the team, he has to take that sacrifice. You're a starter. You're going on these streaks of 5 or 6 games of 35, 36 points in a row. Now we make a trade and you're to the bench. Right. One thing about life, when something is taken away from you or reprimanded, but when you've done nothing wrong, it's hard to deal with. Sure. Imagine you just bring a kid into the office and suspend him, or you just bring a kid in the office and paddle him when he's done nothing wrong. And then you're not allowed to feel emotional or you're not allowed to feel down because now you're being unprofessional.
Right.
Okay. Well, you got to stop acting like people aren't human. Did he act out? No. Did he come to work and keep his same schedule, routine, the same work ethic? Yes. But did it affect him emotionally? Yeah. And I want you to find me somebody that it wouldn't. Imagine the bosses just coming to your radio station and say, you know what? We're going to suspend you guys for 10 radio shows and you did nothing.
I'll punch him right
because they brought in a new guy. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how it goes in the business. And that's why it's called staying professional, and what he did. And I think, that's the toughest part that he's dealing with is just the I come to the game as a starter. I come to the game ready to play. And then right at jump ball, they're like, yeah, you ain't starting. That shit throws you off as a player. You're not going to find a player in the history of the league that will disagree with that if they've been in that situation, But I think my son, for a young guy, handled it well. He took it on the chin and accepted what it was because, I've always, even when he got to Portland, the whole philosophy has been don't ever worry about nothing you can't control. Sure. And when you're feeling down, when you're feeling sad or you're feeling walked over or you're feeling misused, work on your game because that's the only thing that you can believe in. You don't put no belief in no man. Don't put no belief in no coach. Don't put no belief in no system. What you got to put belief in is you've watched your jump shot go through the rim 5,000 times this week. You've watched yourself work on your ball handling and you feel it getting better. You feel your footwork getting better. You feel your moves getting better. Those are the only things that you can believe in. Like when you go through a shooting slump, you've seen Ray Allen come out one game, go hit 10 for 10. Then the next night he's 0 for 10.
Sure.
But the reason why he'll come back the next night and can go 0 for 10 again is because he believes in his craft because you stay working at it. And as long as you stay working at it, even when you have a shooting slump, you'll still believe in yourself and know it's just a shot is off. It's just a shot is off. When you're not working on it, now you start having all that extra like, well, if I would have been in the gym and, well, I should have did this. No, you don't leave room for the woulda, shoulda, couldas. Now you don't have to waver in your confidence. All you got to do is finally get hot one night and things will click back on. And that's why when you see my son maybe have a bad streak or whatever, because as long as you stay working, maybe it didn't happen in the game, but if I've been in the gym and I just made 5,000 shots Monday through Friday and come Saturday I have a bad shooting game, I'm not going to think I'm a terrible player because I've seen the ball go through the rim too many times to not have faith in me.
So if I can try to interpret what you're saying, if Gary decides to opt out, the money is the money. He's going to get what he's due. He's going to get market value. I think, maybe an extra million in one city or extra couple million in another city, but on average, it's going to be about the same money wherever. Is it safe to say that what's most important to him is the opportunity to start and have a coaching staff that believes in him?
Number one, when you go somewhere, the money is what determines that.
Okay.
Because look at this, right? He made 17 million last year, right? So when you get traded, if he would have got traded to the Pelicans,
sure,
that's backup money because CJ making 40, 50 million.
Okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So 17 million is backup money. Now, when you're getting 25 or better, 27 or better, teams are probably going to invest 70 million into a two-guard position.
Right.
So that means, like prime example, like CJ, wherever he gets traded, by him making 45, 50 million, he's going to always be a starter because his money trumps any team he goes to.
Right.
So it's not so much that it's about the money, but it has to be because the money is what guarantees you playing time. When you look at every roster, the guys that are making the most money, they lead the team in field goal attempts. The guys that are making the most money, they lead the team in minutes.
Right.
The guys that are making the most money, they lead the team in touches. So everybody wants the money because, yes, it's going to give you financial security, and you might only have a possible 15 years if you're blessed with good health.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, you need to make a certain amount of money so that it guarantees. If my son was making 40 million this year after that trade, guarantee you he wouldn't have came off the bench.
Has the new Raptor coach reached out to Gary yet?
The only person you see coming off the bench making 40, 50 million was Westbrook. And it took him a long time to do it because of the money he was making.
And
you can't bring no guy off the bench making 49, 50 million.
Yeah, Lowry was making 30, came off the bench for the Heat, but you're right.
But that's because he put himself in that situation. And also Tyler Hero, he making that big money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But they wouldn't go get another two guard and pay them 25 to 30.
No,
you
can't. So
okay.
I wanted to clarify real quick.
Okay.
Has the new Raptor coach reached out to Gary yet?
No, I don't think we've heard anything from him. And that's not usually how it works. You usually got to be a franchise guy for them to reach out to you. Like the coach got his job. This ain't the first new coach. Like this is a game of musical chairs, and I was explaining that to a young guy today. When a coach get fired in the league, it's not like he said, I'm fired and I'm leaving the league. If he leaves the league, he went to a college job or he went to be an athletic director at some big university. But you don't get fired and just leave the league. There's no place to go. That's why Doc Rivers was in Boston. Doc Rivers was in Philly. Doc Rivers with the Clippers. And Doc Rivers going to be somewhere else in some musical chairs. Mm-hmm. Monty Williams was in Phoenix. Now he in Detroit. Mm-hmm. Where was he going to go?
There's always going to be money to be made, right?
Yep.
During the game, after the game. So I want to switch gears a little bit because I cannot allow you and Donnie on here to get into this pigeonhole conversation about like basketball so much. God damn it.
Because he doesn't know anything about
basketball. I don't. All right. But I do know this. Michael Jordan's still making some goddamn money in this game, right? And I don't know if you saw this news thing or not, right? That recently happened. These autographed the flu game shoes
went for like 1.4 million.
Right? So this is my question.
Crazy.
This is insane. Like that, and props to the person who had him because it wasn't Michael who's making the money. It's
that should be another fight.
Right. But here's what I'm saying. Do you have this memorabilia? Are you collecting it? Do you have it from yourself? Right? That you're ready to start unloading through us here on the Godfathers of Podcasting. We can cut a profit.
I don't have any memorabilia that's going to be worth that much. My basketball card worth $3-4. You know what I'm saying? I don't think my jerseys are going to be worth that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I didn't have the flu. I got some flu t-shirts, some flu draws.
I'm not the shit that you sneezed and shit in, but this is what I'm saying. Like, because my boy that I do another show with, Brady Wedham, who owns the SNME Network. Shout out to the SNME Network who puts us on there as well. He is in a roundabout way. He's got your boy's sunglasses that he left in Kevin's car. because his sister is dating the Kevin, the equipment manager for the Raptors and stuff like that. And apparently your boy left his sunglasses in his car one day. He ended up over at my boy's place. So I'm just saying, like, how much can we split on this?
Hey, knowing him, them glasses might be somewhere in the 1,500 range. We need to get them back.
No. All right. I'll send you my email. Don't be rolling up on me. Don't be rolling up on me. Right?
I'm gonna roll up shirtless, man. I'm gonna roll up shirtless. Like, where them shades at?
We'll get a camera out. We will bump nipples. It'll be weird and awkward, but like, let's go.
Hey, so we already know that Gary's in good shape. He likes to work out. He likes to flex for the ladies. We all know that. Guys, producers, Austin, I'm wondering if we can show that video that we had from the baseball game of that dude that was all jacked up. I want Gary to comment on this, man. Do we have that video?
Somewhere in there.
Do we have a producer that's listening to the show?
We're working on it, guys.
That is even more. Yeah, they were all. You know what it was? They're enthralled with the conversation right now, and they're like, "Okay,
or
on there," and then they got pulled out. Boom, boom.
Or they all on edibles and they moving slow.
That's
listen, guaranteed. None of them are wearing shirts in the back. Guaranteed, they've probably eaten something. I think we're all, all on the same page here.
I don't know if you've seen this yet, Gary. I want you to comment on this. Take a look, man.
Okay.
Look at this dude, jacked up.
He's got a set. He's got a set of arms. He's been in a gym.
My man can't open a water bottle. What? Like,
I'm surprised. Well, maybe because it's a baseball game. Because I know at NBA games, they won't let you have a cap.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
They open the water and give it to you. Like, you're not allowed to have a cap because I guess people might throw it on the court or whatever. Dude doing a lot of bicep curls to not be able to twist that little water open. I don't know if his water was frozen or what, but maybe he had too much lotion on his hand while he tried to use his pocket or whatnot. But I want to see who he handed it to that got it open.
He's on day 10 of Trent, and it's like the actual muscle hasn't kicked in. It's all just water.
Man. That's him. He did a couple push-ups for the game to be pumped, but he really ain't really that pumped, you know.
Right?
You know, guys be in the back.
We've all had that bottle where you try to twist it, and the whole bottle itself at the top, because it's been recycled too many goddamn times. Like, we've all had that, right? No, just me. All right.
There's another video clip. I think this was yesterday at the Yankees game. I don't know if you saw this one, Gary, but oh my God. If we have audio on this, guys, it'd be great.
Did you hear about this? Do you watch baseball, Gary?
A little bit. You know, I really didn't start watching it, and then I was over at Sam's Cassell's house, right?
Okay.
Because I went with him when he packed up his office in Philadelphia, so I was there to help him pack it up. And as I'm watching it, he's an Orioles fan because he loved Baltimore because that's where he's from. So he'd be watching the games, talking trash about Baltimore Orioles and all that. And I'm not even really into baseball, but since the fact that he liked Orioles, I got a shit talk him like, they ain't going to be nothing. They're weak. I ain't even into the baseball, but just the fact that he won on the win, I got to say something bad about him.
Okay, let's see if we can run this video. This is John Sterling, the Yankees announcer.
3-2, swung on, a pop foul back here. Ow! 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 It really
run that back, guys. Run that back. The shit hit him in the face.
Swung on, a pop foul.
He watched it.
Ow! 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 It really hit me. I didn't know it was coming back that far. So,
man, luckily that he wasn't like, because I see glass on the other side of him. Luckily, it wasn't some glass and it hit and shattered into his face.
All I can say is that's a man who's like 100 years old, and all he did was go, ow. Like,
yeah. Most guys would be like, shit, or fuck. What the, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, I think
he might be a wholesome guy because usually anybody that gets side blinded like that, they ain't coming with an owl. That's like when you tell your kids, oh, you have an owie. You have an owie.
My man got hit with like 100-mile-an-hour ball and had the most wholesome response ever.
Yeah,
But
owie. He had an owie.
He's been on the air. He's been on the air for 97 years. Like that's more of his normal life. So like he speaks like he goes home probably and talks like that instead
talking like Bob Uecker on the radio on the air.
Oh my God, we're having dinner.
I am okay. Glancing blow.
Just a
that same type of robotic at home talk.
Right? He got that AM radio shit going.
Yeah.
Hey, you were talking about trash talk in Cassell. I gotta know the most out of pocket trash talk that you ever heard on the court. Like we've all heard the stories. Jordan was a great trash talker. Gary Trent, or not Gary Trent, Gary Payton. Was
you know that guy?
Talker.
Hold on. You know that guy, Gary Trent? You ever heard of him?
A little bit.
Can you get him on the show for us?
I know you're
next week.
KG was a great trash talker, but in terms of specific shit, whether it was directed at you or someone else that you heard, what was the one that made you go, "Oh fuck, that's too far"?
Well, once you threaten me of what you're gonna do to me, that's when you went too far. When you be like, "I'll beat your ass," or "do something again," or any type of ultimatum type of tone that you was to shoot at me, that was too much. You ain't got to say nothing specific. If you just say, "Let that happen again," I'm gonna make sure I do it on purpose. Or if you was to say after the game, okay, cool. We don't have to wait till after the game. Like, to me, any shit that you was talking was too much. Because you talking shit to me in a sense of, that means you think you can whoop me or you're going to do something to me. So you didn't have to curse or say my mom or say any type of FUs to me. All you had to do was say something to me as opposed to like you checking me or like you going to handle me or any of that fashion. That was too much. And now once you do that, it's on. I'm going to make you have to stand on that.
What was the worst y'all ever said to somebody then? Like how your button got pushed enough and you were like, "Yo, fuck this motherfucker. I'm going to check him right here. Center court. Let's fucking go."
Yeah,
right?
What did you say to John Stockton?
What was,
Bitch,
Stockton could push
my,
him.
My number one threat would be, "Bitch, I'll be in the locker room for you." Like when I say that, I'm coming. And all my teammates knew, like after the game, I was quick to strip my clothes and I could be in the layup line naked. You know what I'm saying? High-fiving, and then I'm straight to the shower. But if I got an ordeal with somebody, anytime my teammates see my shoes still on after the game and my shorts still on, they know I'm going down the hallway. They know I'm going, and I'm not going to ask nobody to go with me because I don't want you to suffer the consequences of what I may do. Because I don't know what I may do. I may get in there and I might get to checking you. Well, maybe you put your hand in my face and say something, and now we fighting. Now we tumbling in the training room. Maybe I grab a pair of scissors, stab you, or any of that. So I didn't ask none of my teammates to go because I didn't want to put them in that type of situation.
That's a little specific. Nobody just says out the middle of fucking nowhere, maybe I grab a pair of scissors and fucking stab you. Listen, I was born and raised North Las Vegas, Nevada. So I know a thing or two about growing up in some shit. All right. Yeah. Nobody says this unless there's a backstory. So let's hear it.
Yeah. Who pissed you off?
I just know when I'm entering a locker room alone, I may go to reprimand somebody, but you got 14 teammates in here. Maybe you on the training table when I come in there to say something to you. So if I go to say something to you, you on the training table, we buy the tape where they cutting the tape and 2 or 3 of your teammates come and act like they going to do something. Then I already know what type of environment I'm entering, and I already know what's around in the locker room. So I already know there's going to be a pair of scissors in there. There's going to be something in there. If it's a stool, a pair of scissors, something that if it got out of hand, I'm going to make a statement out of you.
Okay, this is how I know. Hold on, Donnie. Hold on. Because this is how I know. This is how I know we come from like the same fucking era. This is the same kind of like bullshit. You Sherlock Holmes, for the people that ain't seen it and ain't lived it. You Sherlock Holmes movie, this thing where you look at it like, okay, I do this, I do this, I do this, and then this is the way it has to fucking play out, right? Like Gary, God damn it.
Because here's the thing, though.
Did it happen?
No, I never had to grab no scissors, but I had to grab a few guys by the collar, and I went by a few locker rooms. I took a few suspensions and things of that nature. But,
suspensions,
man, you got to realize I'm going to play against you, huh?
hold on. Suspensions that never made the air?
No, there were suspensions. Like I got suspended in Dallas. A couple of times I went in locker rooms. I didn't get suspended because, the police came in there. And a lot of times your home team not going to suspend you. Now, where the suspension may come is when you come in the locker room and you go to checking guys, and now those other coaches or that staff call the NBA office and tell on you, or the team security rep calls and tells on you, things of that nature. So, some of them guys might know you, and they be like, if they can calm you down in a calmly fashion, then they might not bring it up. Or if you go in there and check, dude, and don't nothing come out of it, but all right, I was wrong. I shouldn't have did that to you. It was a dirty move. If it comes to that point to where there's nothing bigger, then it probably nothing's going to happen. But if you come up in the locker room, you swinging on 2-3 guys, and coaches and all that, or you come in and threatening coaches and things of that nature, everybody's not built like that. Somebody going to tell. Somebody going to tell.
As the Shuli Network says, AKA pussies.
Yeah.
Right?
Gary, who was the most irritating son of a bitch you ever played against?
I never really had nobody irritating. Maybe hard to guard might have been, Shaq.
Sure.
Shaq was, for me, now Iverson or Jordan would have been the hardest people for me to guard if I had to guard them for 30 plus minutes.
Sure.
But the hardest thing for me one time, I'm with the Mavericks, and Don Nelson came in with this great game plan. So he's like, you got Kobe, Mike. I think he's telling Finley, you got Kobe, you got this, Dirk, you do this. Gary, you got Shaq straight up. Just keep him off the block. And when they pass it, we're going to you guys come on the pass for the double. So, to tell me I got Shaq straight up, and I'm like, well, we got Sean Rooks on the bench. We got Sean Bradley over there on the bench, and you tell me I got him straight up, you know? So to me, it was just I guess he looked at me as a warrior, and he looked at me like I would accept that, and I would accept that challenge. So that may have been probably the toughest thing, just to tell me I got Shaq head up. First off, he got me by 100 pounds. He got me by probably 6-7 inches. Yeah. So, but here's the thing. Yeah, y'all going to come on the catch. But when he catches it and throws it back out and then repost, y'all not and then ducks in 2 steps deeper, y'all not going to come back. Y'all not going to be able to recover quick enough.
You're missing it. You're missing the whole fucking thing. That is not why he told you that, Gary. He told you that because he didn't give a goddamn if you fouled out. He wanted fucking bows thrown at Shaq and get him.
Well, no, he just wanted me to be as physical as possible. He didn't want me to foul out because I'm the starter. I'm starting, so you don't want me to foul out.
He wanted you to take the knee out. Goddamn, sweep the leg, Johnny. This is what he wanted. God damn it, Gary.
Like Cobra Kai.
Dude said, you got Shaq. He came in there and said, you got Shaq straight up. But, I look at that, and, if you think about it, those are things that go back to why, like Shaq might say, if I'm into something, I'm going to take Gary Trent because, of course he was going to have the advantage basketball-wise, but he didn't see any fear in me. He didn't see any back down in my style of play. And then your reputation around the league. Cats, even though stuff don't make the media, the guys within the system know, oh, I heard dude went up in the luck, because everybody knows somebody on another team. So if just so happened Donnie went into somebody's locker room and I'm talking to the next guy on the team, and they'd be like, hey, man, what's up with Donnie? Oh, man, he had to go after such and such tonight. Me and Chris will know it just never made the media, but we know Donnie, why he did it and this and that. So by time guys keep hearing dude going up in locker rooms by himself, like part of it was a lot of ignorance, because first off, there's no place in the business for that. Definitely ignorant. But also at the same time, it was, dude, you're not going to play with me like this. So I don't care if it's 15 guys in there. I'm coming in there. And everybody with you going to have to beat me up with you. I ain't saying I was going to beat them all up. Maybe I would have went there and got my ass kicked. But that's what y'all was going to have to do.
Well, you had to know that, like, your team's not going to let you walk out your locker room, down the hallway, make it into the other locker room, knowing you're pissed, knowing you're ready to fucking throw down. They're not going to let you just go out there on your own like that.
They did.
Had to, really?
Yeah, they did. Because I didn't ask them to go. I didn't ask them to go.
Ask or not. As a man, as a teammate, You have to know you got your brothers back from the fucking beginning of the season and pre-fucking whatever till the end.
No, I get that. I get
you have
that.
to
But
know that, right? So,
they
so what
knew.
you're telling me, Gary, hold on. Oh, God damn it, you got me fired up, you son of a bitch. What you're
so
telling
high.
me, I'm high as a giraffe's neck. What you're telling me is that you played with a motherfucking lot of bitches.
Nah, I
that is
wouldn't say that because here's the thing.
Come on.
I didn't want to put them in that situation.
It
And then
don't
on
matter.
top of that,
It don't matter. I got my boys, and they will never ever, because they're my boys, they will never ever put me in that situation. But you got to know when that situation happens, I am going to protect my boys and step in front of them to make sure that that situation doesn't happen, because I know where they're at and where their mind is and what could happen. And none of us,
none of
us.
Now
need to
that's
go.
their version.
Everybody needs to go to the strip joint on an equal level later on after the game. You see what I'm saying, Gary?
The version of what you're saying is they would try to talk me out of it.
No,
they wouldn't.
No,
I'm saying their way of protecting me was like, "Hey, man, don't do that, man."
Yeah.
They would come into, "Man, if you get suspended, we need you next game," or "Man, don't cost yourself that money," or "Don't do this." That was their way of protecting me because they already know me enough to know he gonna go down there anyway.
Yeah, you gotta
go anyway.
You got to bow up for your boy, and either you fucking do it for him, or you make it as ridiculous as you possibly can, so he ain't gonna want to fucking do it because it's like, this clown just fucked up my shit right now, man.
Now, if I would have had, maybe if I was on a team with Oakley, maybe Anthony Mason, somebody like that, somebody looking forward to some after the game smoke.
I'm saying,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't saying I play with no soft guys, because the guys that love me would just, their way was, if we go down there and participate with him, we just as lost or just as wrong. So let's more or less try to talk him out of doing something dastardly or something dumb, because a lot of my teammates knew, man, if he go down that locker room, ain't no telling what the fuck he might do.
Right. And if they weren't willing to step down with you, they were sticking behind, it's because they're soft.
I wouldn't call it that. I didn't want them to do that. I didn't want them to do that. That's why I never say, I'm about to go down here, somebody come watch my back. If I would have said somebody come watch my back, I had a couple of teammates there. I could have had Rashid. I could have probably had Rashid get in trouble with me and throw his shit down the drain too.
Should have.
You know what I'm saying? But I just never asked nobody, man.
Oh my God.
He should have
answered the question 6 times.
Plus, and then, okay, prime example. Like one of my best friends to this day, my brother, Aaron McKee, Sam Cassell, Kevin, and Rashid. Those are like my brothers to the end of time, right? I was a pallbearer at Sam's mom's funeral a month ago. Like, that's my brother. Right. If I'm about to go get into some smoke, I'm not asking no point guards to rock with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no point guards. I don't need to ask Aaron to go down. These are guards. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna roll down there, I need Oakley. I need Mason. I need Arvidas Sabonis. I need some 250, 300-pound cats that could throw some thumping out there. I don't want to bring no point guard to a fight. If I show with a point guard, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he gonna have a sit down."
No, but I feel that because I'm that size guy. Like, so I feel that, right?
Yeah, you don't look real intimidating. I show up with a guy 6'3", 215. I show up, me and Oakley show up and kick the locker room door in. They know it's gonna be something. I came down there with Anthony Mason, Larry Johnson, or even Shaq. They like, oh shit, they came down here for some real smoke. You can't show up with Muggsy Bogues or Spud Webb, or you know what I'm saying? You can't show up with Alvin Williams. Like, hey, we about to get it in.
I bring Oliver Miller with me.
Hey, a lot of times you can bring that size and it could discredit you because they like, oh, buddy, just Marshmallow Man. He ain't known for no reputation. He ain't known for no hands. You bring somebody with you that's got no reputation or soft reputation, that's going to discredit what you about to do. They're going to be like, oh, he ain't come down here to throw no hands. He came down here to talk.
Oliver Miller got bigger tits than the dancers at courtside. Hey, let me ask you this, okay, my man? Because when I'm in a sports bar or, whatever, right? And people are talking, they love to have debates about this guy or that guy. One of the debates I hear all the time is between 2 dudes that you know well. You played against them and you were teammates. Best power forward between these two. Just give me the name. I don't want you to explain it. Dirk or KG? Who better?
If I have to pick one to play with, I would go with Kevin.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you why, though.
Okay.
I gotta tell you why.
Okay.
And it's no disrespect to Dirk, right? I've played with Kevin and I've watched Flip come out and tell him, Kevin, the first half you got to guard Tracy McGrady. Kevin, I need you to guard Kobe. Kevin, I've seen him guard Peja Stojakovic in the first half and then guard Weber in the second half. Offensively, Kevin and Dirk can give me the same amount of points. But from a defensive standpoint, Dirk's not going to affect as many shots. And from a defensive standpoint, Dirk can't guard as many positions. You would never be able to put Dirk on a Kobe. You would never. I'm talking about not on a pick and roll where it's switch. I'm talking about where the jump ball, Flip is looking at Kevin, telling him, you guard McGrady from the jump ball. You couldn't do that with Dirk or Tim Duncan.
Right.
You couldn't do that with you. You wouldn't come out and tell Dirk to start on Kobe from jump ball. I've seen Kevin start on Kobe from jump ball. I've seen him guard Peja Stojakovic, chase him off screens the first half, and then had to bang with Weber in the second half. So that's why Kevin gets my nod over those guys, because Dirk and Kevin can both give you the same amount of points. Kevin's going to give you more rebounds, but he's going to give me more defensive presence. You know what I'm saying? I've never tipped for his great. They say Tim Duncan's the greatest power forward, and he has all the arguments and accolades to say that. But Popovich would know Duncan's going to be in foul trouble if he ever said from jump ball, you guard Kobe. I've seen Kevin be assigned to guard Kobe from jump ball. Popovich wouldn't even believe in Duncan like that. Nelly would have never even put Dirk in that position, because the first thing he's going to think, I'm not about to put my best player in foul trouble.
Of course.
So it's no slight to Dirk because he's great as hell. It's no slight to Tim Duncan because he's great as hell. But when all those guys can give me the same amount of points, then okay, we got to go to the defensive side. And from a defensive standpoint, neither one of those guys could do what he did defensively.
All I'm hearing is you don't like white people.
Yeah.
No, Tim Duncan's black.
I'm sorry, guys. There was a problem. There was a problem with my headphones. That last minute and a half seemed to be all in Spanish. I don't know what the
It's so high.
And I speak.
Then that means you need to share some of that
saying.
shit you got with Donnie over there.
Yeah.
Listen, he won't come to my house to pick up my shit. That's what I'm saying. I got to send him specific stuff because he don't want to get on this train.
His stuff's too strong.
Did the right team win this year, Gary?
Yep, the right team always wins because Denver had the most continuity.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, nobody could guard Joker throughout the playoffs. Nobody. No matter what they try. When I'm sitting here watching a guy get 40, 20 boards, 15, 16 assists, you're not stopping him. Bam was too small. Bam was too small. Now,
he's the first man in the history of the NBA to lead the playoffs in points, rebounds, and assists in the history of the league.
Now, here's my problem with that. Of course, he accomplished all that. This is first finals and his first rodeo. All this, is he better than Olajuwon? Is he better than this guy and all that? To me, he has a chance to surpass some of those guys statistically, but to sit here and say he's better than this guy, they were saying this before he even won the finals. You know, you just can't just, they're handing out this accolades and they're slanging the GOAT term around like everybody's looking to create content. So let's just keep this LeBron and Jordan GOAT debate and all this type of shit going on. You know, they're placing like Joker. This is his first title. This is first finals. How you even putting him in a sentence with Dream? Dream won the MVP in one season, the defensive player in one season, the finals MVP all in one season. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't ever see Joker winning defensive player of the year.
He ain't better than Larry Bird.
Jokic is just now entering his prime, but you have to say this, whether it's because of the way he plays on the court or the way he carries himself off the court, there has never been a superstar in the NBA like Nikola Jokic.
No, I don't think there's nobody ever to have those stats, but there's been guys in there that When you say never been like him, in what way?
Well, for example, a center that plays more like a point guard, right? For starters, he runs the goddamn offense, right? He runs the offense. Murray is the point guard, but Murray spends most of his time off ball because Jokic runs the offense and he's amazing at it. But the other part of it is, take aside what he does on the court. I don't know that we've ever seen a superstar, and I'm not talking about just a player in the league. I'm talking about a superstar, right? 2-time MVP. A lot of people think he should be a 3-time MVP. And you're talking about a guy who lost the finals MVP trophy and doesn't give a fuck where it is.
Yeah.
Well, you know, to me, when I watch his demeanor and his mindset off the court, it's because he's not caught up in the ego shit.
Right.
He's not.
He's not.
I don't see him.
Media.
Yeah, he's not. He's focused on the task at hand, and there's a lot of other things that in his mind are bigger than those things. And I think that's why that happens. You know, whether I got the trophy at home or not, my shit is etched in stone. And everybody, listen, he could take that trophy and throw that shit out the window on the airplane back to his country. It's not going to take away the fact of it ain't no different than taking Reggie Bush's Heisman back. He won that shit. You can take it back. It ain't no different than trying to take OJ's trophy back. He still won that shit.
Yeah.
You know, so even if he lost the trophy, it's just something that he lost for the mantelpiece or something for the grandkids or his kids to see.
They're going to make a new one. They're going to make a new one.
All he got to do is go to YouTube.
And then you know what you're going to find out? He's going to find that one, because we know how it happens. As soon as you lose something and then you go buy a new one, right? You find the one that you had. So now he's got one for his mom's place and one for his place. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you know what? It will keep you humble if you grow up in Serbia. There's no doubt about it. And his family's huge as shit too. But here's my question, because we are running.
You know, I don't like that term humble though. I don't like the term humble, because if you look up the definition of humble, it means you have to downplay your greatness to make somebody else feel like something.
Okay.
And for as great as he is, he shouldn't listen, as hard as Nikolai had to work for all the things he's went through, being a fat kid, a war-torn country, and all that struggle, to me, I don't believe he should be humble and downplay his accomplishments, because if you look up humble, you got to downplay your greatness. Don't ever downplay your greatness, because you had to work to be that.
I feel that. And also the fact that I don't know if y'all have met the family he grew up with. Like, his brothers are fucking just as like big. And so, like, growing up, you can only imagine the shit that all three of them.
Got his ass kicked.
One of his brothers is like a professional MMA fighter.
And let me say this: if I would have had to put my money on it when the Morris Cats was talking that shit, I would have put my money on Joker and them.
Oh fuck!
Right?
Yeah.
Listen. I had a teammate from Serbia.
Yeah.
Them Serbian cats. There's them Serbian soldiers. They almost kind of like the Spartans.
No,
it might not be for 300 of us, damn it, but we ain't fucking around.
You saw when
you know what I'm saying? Like them Serbian soldiers is like Spartans.
You saw when they put out that fucking fake ass Twitter account, and they were like, they made one tweet and said, "We're coming to Miami. Keep the energy."
Oh yeah,
and nobody said shit.
No,
nobody
said
listen, shit.
If you wanted that smoke, they wasn't hiding. You could have been like, "Hey, I'm gonna be at this restaurant. I'm gonna be at this club." See, it looked good for social media because it's all captions and headlines. Everybody talking shit. Everybody with a microphone and a camera can be somebody in their own mind.
Here's the biggest question. Hold on. Okay, go ahead, Donnie. Go ahead. I got one more because we are running late, and I want to say thank you very much.
Yeah, I wanted to throw out one last thing before we.
No, I got one too.
Goodbye. So go ahead. Not on a basketball note, but I wanted to get your take on this, Gary. There's a story that popped up this week because we always love talking about weird shit in the news. This guy might be the smartest or bravest or stupidest entrepreneur that I've ever heard of.
Or all three.
This dude has posted on social media that you can pay him $50, $60 on weekends, to kick his ass so that you look tough in front of your girlfriend. You tell him where your girl will be. He will bother her, and you can kick his ass for $60.
Well, first off, I think dude on drugs because first off, for $50 or $60, you trying to look for something. He needs some of them prescription pills or something. And then secondly, a guy my size, I don't get no stripes for beating up nobody little. So that little $50 or $60 don't do nothing. And
Bro,
there's got to be something wrong with him to wake up every day of his life and want to lead with something negative, lead with something ignorant, or lead with something detrimental to his health or detrimental to his life. And you got to be a real insecure motherfucker to participate with him and be like, yeah, make me look tough in front of my girl. Because if you got to beat somebody up in front of your girl to make her feel good about you or respect you, you need to get rid of her anyway.
look, Donnie, even his shirt are off.
Every week,
See?
America is trying to get me to take my shirt off. Honey, send a tip and maybe I'll consider it. You're not even paying.
Here's the thing, Gary. You roll up on this guy, fake girlfriend, real girlfriend, it don't matter. And that's a hate crime.
I'm going to tell you really what's going on.
That's a fucking hate crime.
Let me tell you what's really going on. Let the right motherfucker sock him. Let the right person sock him.
Yep.
Let me roll up and whoop him. It's a civil suit. Because listen, if you getting your ass beat for $50 or $60, you need some real money. So you're looking for a civil suit.
For only $60, you too can beat up someone who looks like a Holocaust survivor. Yeah, Roy. Yeah, wrong. Yeah,
like
wrong.
I'm saying,
guy,
I'm not gonna get no.
You know what I'm saying?
270 pounds. So for me to get in a fight with him, I'm almost like trying to talk him down. Like, come on, man, don't do this, bro. Don't do this.
Hey, Gary, I will have you know that this picture, this gentleman, this body type right here is the heavyweight champion of 90% of all independent wrestling around North America.
Yeah,
this is a sad thing. So, very quickly before we wrap up on here, I need to ask, because everybody needs to know inside of the whole thing. And we've talked about a whole spectrum of things that could like bring eyes, not bring eyes, all of the bad things, all of the good things, everything like that. Gary Trent, when are you going to be posing for Playgirl?
It depends. If they hit me and the price is right, I might do something.
Okay.
I'll definitely do something.
And I know that we have privates in here from some of the females that have been joining us in the chat, and they've been very.
They ain't posting them.
Well, listen, they've probably all moved over because they're in a bathtub right now with some bubbles and some hot water, and they're thinking about you, and that's cool.
Gary's about 5 minutes away from opening an OnlyFans. Okay, so let's
this is what I'm saying. So if you need to do this, Gary. And we need to promote this on through the Godfathers of Podcasting and the Shuli Network, right? Like we got first dibs on this motherfucker right here, right?
Fucking Brady.
I will probably, if I start an OnlyFans, I'm gonna probably be behind the camera more on the production side. You know what I'm saying? Because all the money's in production.
That's how it starts. But
all the money's in production. Now I might have to step from behind the camera. I might have to step from behind the camera and tell dude, hey man, you got to hit it like this. You know what I'm saying?
Tina Bobina is already. She can't even make letters. Right, she's just throwing like emojis and stuff. Stacey Allen is like look, this is like eyeballs and squirting. Or can I just send him my pound sign? Because
my number.
No, that's a pound sign. You're old enough.
But that means my number.
Yeah, your son told you that. All right, sliding off my chair, fellas, and America, right? Like this is what I'm saying. And she has a plastic chair. She ain't sliding off very easily, right? Tip. Male to female chat ratio is out of whack tonight, right? You're welcome. You're welcome, Shuli. You're welcome, Bob. I'm just saying, you guys have
hey, Donnie,
Gary.
Maybe we found a couple of OnlyFans.
This isn't your show, Gary. Okay, I'm just telling Shuli and Bob right now. You're welcome. You're welcome for bringing a new audience, a female audience, to y'all's network. All right.
Gary's milkshake brings all the girls to the yard.
Would you
now, Donnie? Hey, Chris, we gonna make Donnie the star. But if he run out of gas or he ain't got her leg up right, then one of us might have to step in and be like, "Look, Donnie, you got to do it like this."
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? Like you're at one end, we're at the other end. We will Eiffel Tower this motherfucker, and Donnie can be in the middle. I don't give a shit. Let's go.
Or it's just, or we just all come in as a gangbang, man. We just come in the door like that.
What just happened?
Gary,
Okay, listen. I don't know what you're. Gina Bobina's laughing her ass off. Ray Malgary, that woman is dating Bill Murray. That's so insane. I don't know who he's talking about.
He's talking about Khalees, the girl that made that song. Bring on the Nas' ex-wife.
Her milkshake bring all the fucking Ghostbusters to the yard.
Yeah, she's dating Bill Murray, so we finally learned that milkshake is actually just Ensure.
Yeah, or that shit powdered milk at that age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's Metamucil. So Gary, I don't know what your schedule is over the next little while, but you have my number. The next time you're in Toronto, can you fucking holler at a guy?
Yeah, I will, man. I will.
Come on, motherfucker.
You know, I'll be coming in and out. I'll be coming in and out so fast, and then sometimes I'll be under the radar. But hey, we're gonna have to meet and get something to eat. You know, a place I'll be going to. I'll be eating downtown a lot.
Where at? Where do you need to go?
Man, I went to this little. I went to Tim Hortons. You said Tim Hortons?
No, I said Morton's Steakhouse.
Nah, I'm a Ruth Chris guy. I ain't really feeling Morton.
All right.
Morton's
wow, that was very white of you, Gary.
Hey, listen. Now that I encounter money, I'll be at some white places too now.
Listen, I'm telling you straight up. Listen, everybody, and next time you find out more of this, Shuli ladies, what was this? Shuli chat ladies are the best in the business. Y'all are.
We gotta get another window of some random lady comments. So we gotta put some estrogen on there, looking like ESPN. Do you think they would have the ratings if it was all sausage on TV all the time? Now y'all tuning into that blonde girl and them girls up there with the long legs. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you straight up, the only time I guarantee you, if I show up with a fucking camera and Gary Trent is walking into a fucking steakhouse with a shirt on, dude, that's news. That is.
Listen, let me give you a quick story. So the first time, you know, I never heard of Ruth Chris till I got to the NBA, because before I had NBA money, I thought Ponderosa was real steak.
Right.
So listen, when you can get a steak and the whole buffet for $12.
Hold on, I know you're in the States, so Sizzler.
Sizzler, you same type of joint, right? So I'm in Waikiki. I'm swimming around because I'm there at this Pete Noel big man camp. I come up out the water. I got on shorts, and I got my white beater on my lawn chair, and I'm like, oh, I see Ruth Chris. I come right up in the joint with wet shorts, grab my white beater. I walk up in there, and they was like, excuse me, sir, you're going to have to put on a suit jacket. I'm like, a suit jacket? You know, I've been going to Ruth Chris in the States. I ain't never had to wear a suit jacket. Why did they have some suit jackets in the back? And I had to, now my suit jacket is a 46 long. I probably had on a 42 long just because I damn near like about to bust the back open because I wanted to eat Ruth Chris. So, dude, I'm in a pair of wet shorts, a white beater, and a blue blazer just so I could eat that Ruth Chris.
You know what? My friend who's been on this show a couple times, dating author. She's written a book about dating, Karen Zeifman. She is like, she's the queen of Yorkville in Toronto, right? You know Yorkville?
Okay. Yeah.
That area, right? Where all the rich folk hang out. And Karen likes to say Ruth Chris is nice when she feels like slumming, because she goes to the real high-end places.
Well, was it more high-end? Was it about Harbor 60 or something?
Yeah, there's
Karen's
book right there.
the what is it, 60 down on the fucking front there.
There's a new one called Black and Blue, which is down in the financial district. There's more.
Listen, I'm telling you straight up.
Is that her?
I will spend it. Yeah, that's her. That's her cleavage. Listen, I will tell you straight up. You come into Toronto, you want a steak? Come to my house. Donnie's laughing, motherfucker. Donnie is laughing.
Hey,
Donnie's
Donnie.
laughing like he don't.
Like
he's like,
that's funny. He serve us an infused steak. That's what he try to do. We'll fuck around, wake up over his spot in the morning, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you go to Tid's house, you're gonna get a contact high. Like, you don't even have to smoke.
I'm just saying, you want a good fucking ass steak, better than any of those restaurants? Come to my house. Gary, next time you are in town, We're going to do this. And you know what you don't got to do when you come to my house? You don't got to wear a motherfucking shirt. All right? All right, homie?
Well, listen, you ain't got no estrogen over there. I don't want me, you and Chris sitting around shirtless. You know
listen, we make it happen. We make it happen. We roll up hard. All right.
Oh, okay. You're gonna have some talent over there. Okay. We got to pull up Donnie if he got some talent over there.
Let's go.
What's her face that keep commenting in the chat? Invite her over for the steak.
Absolutely.
And, you know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna have to come over and say, "Where's the beef?"
We're already like way past the time we were supposed to go off the air.
Listen, as Gary would say, we're way longer.
We're way long. We're way long. So we have all these ladies in the chat that are going nuts over Gary.
Hold on.
$49.99.
For what?
Nothing witty. Just thanks. Because Tiff is a fucking champ. That's why.
Thank you,
Gary.
Tiff.
Tiff is a champ, and she is part of, like, you have brought more female fucking viewers to all of this Shuli network, because think about this, and you can all go on fucking Google and check it out. Like, I love Bob to death, but I mean, if we're putting it up back to back, I'm going home with Gary. Straight. Actually, I'm probably going home with Bob because it's going to hurt less. But I'm just saying. See how even Gary has moved into his bedroom? Did you catch this shit, ladies? He has moved into his bedroom. So after hours,
the sun is setting.
Trent,
so now we're gonna make it after dark. Gary after dark.
Hold on, Gary. You see?
Oh, Donnie. Oh shit.
Okay.
What Donnie doing? Okay, Donnie.
Shit. Right. I'm just saying, Gary, you need your show. You need your show, Gary Trent After Dark. Come hit us up. I don't know. He thinks it's West Side Story all of a sudden over here.
Yeah.
Gary, you hit us up and we will get you a fucking private show on the Shuli network right here, because I'm telling you straight up, it's a lot of white chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
So we're running so long, because if we weren't, all the ladies in the chat that are going mental for Gary, I would just ask our producers to send them all the link, and we would have them all join the show one by one and start propositioning this man.
A Zoom gang bang.
We were supposed to have a dating game tonight with Canadian Olympic boxer Scarlett Delgado, because she told us on the air that she's having trouble finding a guy while she's training for the Olympics. And we were going to do the dating game, but she's in Paris and her coach told her, "You're doing 2-a-days." So she's fucking blown up. So she had to cancel her appearance this week, which is why we ended up calling you, Gary, last minute. We should do the Gary Trent dating game with all these ladies up in the Shuli chat.
Oh, shit.
Bro, I'm telling you straight up, Gary, because you've matched your electrical bill. And I see that it's like completely dark behind you. We will get a hold of you very fucking soon, and we're gonna do this again, brother. I appreciate you,
man. Thanks for having me.
Hanging out, man. You
It's
keep
always
it
a blast,
dude. You keep it more real than a real motherfucker can keep real. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we on here for, man.
I appreciate you, because how old are you, Gary?
Fake stories.
How old are you, Gary?
How old am I?
Yeah.
I'll tell you off the air.
No. I'll tell you right now how old I am. I'm 53. I'm 53, turning 54 this year. Right?
Yeah,
man, you older than me. I ain't know that.
See, this is what I'm saying, right?
How old are you, Donnie?
You're a year older than I am. And you know what? Your birthday is the day after mine. So
your birthday the 21st?
Yeah, you're a year and a day older than me.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So we should be having a birthday party together, motherfucker.
Let's go. My place, live broadcast, Gary Trent, no shirts allowed. Let's go. Steaks. I got a Blackstone, right? We cook up some fucking shit on that thing as well. Let's go. Toronto. Come on. Gary,
I'm down.
That sounds like a real turn up right there.
All right.
I guess it depends where Junior signs next year. I guess we'll see where we're at in September.
No, it don't, because he'll still come back.
I still be coming to Toronto.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking about. It depends on. Like I don't know if my son comes back to Toronto during Caravana, because he's down in Miami training. But if he comes back during Caravana, I might come up there and whatnot.
With love, Brady.
Are you coming through for Caravana this year?
If my son is there training, more than likely I would, you know.
Oh, dude.
Or if you get invited to a bitch ass fucking party in the backyard. That's what
y'all be going to a lot of the parties?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Well, I haven't, not since before COVID, but before COVID, I mean, I used to go to Tristan Thompson had a party every year. Who else? Jamal McGlure had
okay, Big Molly, yeah.
Yeah, Big Cat. He had a Caravana party every year. So I would slide into some of those. But man, if you're coming for Caravana, let's hit it up because that'll be a fucking blast.
Word.
Shack of the Mac. Don't forget, folks.
He is the Shack of the Mac. Our guest this week, always the man, the one and only Gary Trent. Thank you so much, my brother.
Appreciate it, man. Y'all be good, man.
All
Stick
right.
around backstage. I want to talk to you after we sign off. All right.
Yeah.
His son about to get that bag. Wonder if dad will get a cool gift. Ha ha. Don't worry, Bone Loads. Junior knows where his bread is buttered and he takes care of daddy.
There are very few dudes that keep it as real.
Oh my God.
Gary Trent Sr. And the fact that, like, you know, there was very minimal crazy ass sports talk because this is just a man keeping it fucking real and we understand his life, right? Like, this is what the world needs more of. So thank you very much, Gary Trent.
I love Gary Trent. He's the man.
He's
and
always
also,
been the man.
Gary Trent Jr., personally, as a Toronto fan, I hope you come back to the Raptors. But if not, go get that bag, man, and get your fucking position locked in because you deserve it. That
100%.
dude's shot is smoother than butter, and I love to watch him play ball. That is Notorious TID Chris Tidwell. My name is Diamond Distillo.
Wait, we got plugs. Bro, we're already over, so we got to do like
what are we plugging?
I plug shit. I plug shit because you don't have shit.
Okay, we have the SNME Network. Go check them out.
Yes, because I do SNME.
Tid hosts 14 other podcasts.
I'm just saying, you can follow it on @NotoriousTID. You can go to SNME fucking radio and check out all of the shows that they have. Please do so. Please also make sure before you leave here, you smash that like button. Please make sure that you follow all of the other shows on the Shuli Network. Please make sure tomorrow, Friday, being a Stone. Can you believe this, Donnie? They're doing a Stone show Friday. I don't know if you should call in sick and maybe join everybody and tell everybody your experiences on that show, but they are doing a Let's Everybody Get High on a Friday morning, 9 a.m. on the Shuli Network here tomorrow. So please, everybody join into that one. I will also be tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Chris Abels. Thank you very much, Chris, for joining in and with the super chats. I will be on his show, The Replayables, tomorrow night on a Friday night at 9 o'clock. Donnie, do you think you have any idea what could possibly happen?
Fucking nonsense. That's all.
Mayhem. Complete
Nonsense.
mayhem. Yeah, 420 on a 616. Roy, don't try to be funny in the chat. You were fantastically silent during your shows today. No, I love you, Roy. You are fucking tremendous, and I appreciate everything you do. Brady W. Ladies and gentlemen, the Notorious TID, that's me. He's Donnie Abreu. Donnie, sign us out.
I'm Donnie Da Silva. I don't know who you're talking about.
Your alter ego.
And thank you so much to everyone for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks to everyone who's in the super chat. And make sure you check us out on all platforms. Follow us everywhere. And we love you and thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really